best advice about men you could give to a young lady is to go get another one. He's not acting right, go get another one. He's not supporting you emotionally, go get another one. He's a cheater, get another one. Liar, get another one. Sing it with me. Get another one. Go get another one. You are young. You're a young lady. Go get another one. The sea is yours. Get another one.
15 experiences you need to have with someone before you marry them. 1. Survive a travel disaster where everything that can go wrong does go wrong. 2. All-day IKEA trip surviving only on Swedish meatballs, ending the night by assembling an overly complicated piece of furniture that looks fine, I guess. 3. Holiday family visit back to their hometown just so you can see how triggered your babe gets and witness their regression into bratty teenage self. Is it cute? I hope it is. 4. A 2,000-mile road trip trapped in a car where you take turns listening to your favorite guilty pleasure albums without being a judgmental turd. 5. Spend an entire day at the DMV attempting to get your license renewed and ultimately failing. 6. Try your best to be intimate but feel so anxious that none of your parts end up working the way you want them to. 7. Kayak together. 8. Wait in a 90-minute long line for brunch while absolutely starving. Honestly, this is where I thrive. 9. Watch their favorite team lose a big game with 1 second left and a heartbreaking loss. Any Bears fans out there? 10. Host a dinner party together where you handle the cooking, cleaning, and entertaining without snapping at each other. It is impossible. 11. Get sick at the same time and see how you handle being miserable and caring for each other simultaneously. And who's the biggest little baby? 12. Adopt a pet, even temporarily, and negotiate who handles poop duty at 3 a.m. 13. Experience a snowstorm or blackout where you're forced to bond over candlelight and no Wi-Fi. Ooh, how retro and boring. 14. Survive a truly awkward double date with another couple that just can't stop arguing. I love these dates, so much judgment to make. 15. Spend 30 minutes experiencing the other person's social media algorithm to see how their phone really sees them and get a glimpse into who they really are.
Who are you currently identifying more with? Past you or future you? Because I've noticed that every single time I'm feeling stuck and I'm stuck in an old story and I'm like, this isn't gonna work out for me, things aren't going well, I realize all of a sudden, no, I'm recycling old stories from the past. That's like my high school self talking right now. That's the version of myself a few years ago talking right now. But my future self, no, she would view this differently. She would be like, of course this is gonna work out for me. And when she switched that story and you decide, I've got 2 paths in front of me right now, I can evolve or I can repeat, and you choose to evolve and you choose to show up as your future self, that's when the game changes. That's quite literally how to change your life.
How old are you?
77.
How does it feel to be 77?
I'm proud of being 77 when people say to me how old you are. I don't shy away from telling them because I'm not blind. I know I look good for 77. I have my wrinkles, but I exercise. I'm happy. I don't have bitterness in my heart. I try to be kind.
What is something you thought was really important when you were younger, but as you got older, you realized it wasn't that important?
Material things. When you're younger, you have to get whatever's in fashion. You have to get the right clothes. Everything has to be what all your girlfriends are doing and so on and so forth. As you get older, none of that really matters. I don't think there's anything more important than family and friendships, relationships. And I think the other thing is being content to be who you are. When we were younger, we tried so much to be like the stars on television. And the best person we can be is the best person who we are.
So how do people find out who they are?
You really know who you are when you're called to be your best in the worst of situations.
My long distance boyfriend dumped me a week ago, so if you've just been dumped, here's my advice. If someone doesn't want to be with you, you do not want to be with them. This one is such a big one, and I have spoken about it before, but knowing your self-worth is so important, and you should not want to crave to still be with them if they've literally told you that they don't want to be with you. You know what I mean? Like, you're worth more than that. Obviously, you can hold on to those moments and still value the relationship of what it was, but stop longing for the future because it's not there. Being dumped is a really good time to focus on what you brought to the relationship and start reflecting. And if you were really happy in that relationship, don't forget that you are 50% of it. So you're probably 50% of the happiness that you had, or even more. So yeah, reflect, but don't forget who you are. This one's a pretty classic one, but everything happens for a reason, and I really back this one. Trusting the process and kind of just letting things play out, because, I mean, you might as well. You know, are you really going to sit around and just be, I don't know, upset for months on end? Like, yes, you can. That's totally fair. But I don't know. I'm just out here trusting the universe that it's got a bigger and better plan for me. Might as well take a positive spin to it if you can, because otherwise you're just going to feel sad. You know, just because something was great doesn't mean it needed to last. There's that saying that people come into your life for a reason, a season, and a lifetime, and I feel like that's so true. You can kind of just take the learnings from a relationship and move forward. This one's an obvious one, but it's a good reminder. If someone else has gotten through heartbreak, so can you. Often we feel alone, but we're not. And I feel like this is just like a fact of life, right? There's always going to be people that, you know, you wanted to be with and they, for whatever reason, don't want to, and that's okay. Everything happens for a reason. Having an all-time low means that you're gonna have to come back up. So yeah, with all of those dips, there will be ups. What is it? Peaks and troughs. So don't be so hard on yourself when you're in your low, but you need to be positive and remind yourself that I will come back up, because we always do. This one could be a little bit controversial, but I don't really believe in right person, wrong time. I kind of just think it's wrong person. And that's okay. Like, you just weren't meant to be together. Let yourself be excited about the future. I feel like fantasizing about the possibilities is important, at least for me. I feel like that's what helps me get through, rather than like thinking about all of the possibilities with that other person. Think about all the new exciting times that you're going to have with your new husband. I think as well, just let yourself still think about the relationship and the person, and be happy that you got to share that with that person, because ultimately you've learned something. Hopefully they've learned something, and yeah, bye.
Fun fact, your brain is literally wired to pick a familiar hell over an unfamiliar heaven. So the next time you're staying with him, even though he fucking sucks, maybe it's just because he's familiar and you're afraid of the unknown.
If you ever wanted to know how to get your man to do things for you, to spoil you, I'm going to tell you what to do. Now, this one's based in dark psychology, but it's very effective. You need to be activating his hero complex. Let me explain. Men are natural hunters. They are doers. They are fixers. They don't usually show love very well with emotions. They show love by doing. Now, where a lot of women go wrong with this is they're so used to taking care of themselves, especially the women that grew up as the oldest sibling. They were the handler. They were the fixer. They had to take care of everyone and make sure the whole ship stayed afloat. You might have had a bad experience depending on other people, and you vowed to never be at someone's mercy ever again. But you need to learn to turn that on and off. Remember this: come to the table how you want to be served. If you are Betty the Builder, you're the fixer, you're the mechanic, you're the accountant, you're the cook, you're the driver, you are everything. There's no place for him. There's no place for him to do anything. And the biggest reason why most women aren't getting their man to do anything for them is because they don't want him to think they're using him, when in fact, it's a side of himself that he needs to fulfill. And if he doesn't do it with you, he's going to do it elsewhere. Being able to solve the problem, being the one to save the day, it makes them feel like men. Being self-sufficient is important in the world, but you need to learn how to turn that on and off. So here's what you do. You start small. Begin to ask him his opinion on things. You escalate that to asking him to fix a problem. The more you lean into your feminine energy, the more he will lean into his masculine energy. It's a muscle. The more comfortable you get asking for things, the more comfortable you'll get receiving things. Every time you're asking for something, think of yourself as doing him a favor. He gets to tap into his hero complex and be the man that he craves to be.
I'm going to tell you the quickest way to heal your abandonment wound. Get into a relationship with somebody who you are going to select because you have an abandonment wound, which is selecting someone who is basically predisposed to abandoning you because you've selected someone who cannot truly be there for you and who is not emotionally available, because humans are always subconsciously attracting the very thing that they need in order to heal. So you're going to end up with someone who's very much going to abandon you. They are going to leave you, okay? They're just going to pick up and go, perhaps a no contact situation where they don't even look back and give you any sort of explanation. And you're going to be left there feeling the most intense pain that you've ever felt in your life, because it is going to be your old wound literally reopening, and it's going to be excruciating, and you are going to cry, and you are going to sob, and you are going to fight, and you are going to be angry, and you are going to go through every single emotion under the sun as you sit here with a searing pain in your heart until you pick yourself up off the ground and get yourself into the gym and into the supermarket buying healthy food and into your bed at a reasonable hour and into beautiful situations with friends that are going to love and support you and into that new course that you've always been wanting to take but you never took because you were too busy being preoccupied with a person that was never going to love you properly anyways. And you are going to begin loving yourself step by step and doing everything that you've ever wanted to do until you wake up one day and realize that the searing pain in your heart isn't as intense, and day by day your heart will mend, and that pain that was once unbearable will be replaced with this feeling of deep love and reverence for yourself. And one day the realization will hit that being abandoned can never happen again, because the only person that can abandon you is yourself. But you have now spent so much time and energy creating a beautiful relationship between you and you. So being abandoned is a thing that will never happen again, because you will always have your own back and love yourself first and foremost. And from this new space of self-love and care, you will no longer be picking somebody subconsciously who was designed to hurt you, because our external world is a reflection of our internal world. And where there is love and wholeness is a choice in selecting a partner that will love us fully and wholly as well. That is the solution to all of our problems. And that is how we attract people that are designed to help us heal. These relationships that cause that much pain are not the relationships that are destined to last. They're the ones that are destined to awaken us to the truth that we are whole and beautiful exactly as we are. And up until now, all we've been doing has been walking around with the weight of the belief that we are not. I hope this was helpful. I offer calls. The link is in my bio.
You want to make videos, but you're scared about your family and friends seeing your content. Well, here's how you create content that you won't feel shy about. Number one, if you're already not on the storytelling train, then I don't know what rock you're under, but it seems like everyone is talking about it and many don't know how to do it. So you should probably watch these videos I posted where I dissected my story structure, and literally anyone can copy it and not have the same story as me because it's your story you're telling. And number two, be okay with content not landing immediately. Look, it takes time to build anything well, but start writing now, because yes, writing your content is 10 times more important than filming or editing. Why? Because a bad message cannot be fixed with fancy equipment or cool edits. If you want to learn how to make your content better, class is almost in session. I'm dropping Creating Content 101, so comment join to get on the list.
Exactly a month ago, I did something that I think has started to change the trajectory of my life, and it was all thanks to an episode that I listened to on the Resilient Mind podcast. The episode that I listened to was Steve Harvey talking about how to essentially achieve your dream life, and he said that you need to write down 300 things in a journal that you want to accomplish in your lifetime. So I did it. I sat down and I wrote 300 things that I want, and let me tell you, it's hard. It took me, I think, 2 or 3 days to actually finish the list from 1 to 300, because once you get to 50, it's hard. You really have to sit there and ask yourself, what do I want? And there's so many benefits to doing this. One of them being the more that you write down your goals, the more your brain is going to start taking action to achieve those goals versus you just thinking about it. And on top of that, as you start looking at this list year by year, within a year, you should be able to accomplish at least 30 things from that list. It's only been a month, and I think I've already been able to cross off like 4 or 5 things from my list of 300 things. So already my brain is starting to take action on the things that I want to accomplish, and it's really cool. So it's really empowering and motivating to see that I've been able to accomplish a lot of things essentially in such a short amount of time, to the point where now I get excited thinking about a year from now on November 17th, 2025, how much more of that list is going to be highlighted and checked off? But also the most important thing is that like, now that these things are written down, I am holding myself accountable to actually do the work to get what I want. It's not a matter anymore of thinking about these things and visualizing them. Like, I am actually sitting here every day and asking myself, that version of me that already has these things, what is she doing? Like, what do I have to do right now to start actually seeing these things come to fruition in my reality, essentially? And granted, I'm still trying to figure a lot of it out. There's still a lot of question marks that I have surrounding a lot of the bigger life goals that I want to achieve. But right now, I'm just trying to take it day by day and be like, you know what? We're going to figure it out. It's going to work itself out somehow. And I don't have to know the how or the when. I just need to know that I want this thing, and that means that it's meant for me. And whatever steps that I need to take to make it happen, it's just going to come to me some way, somehow. So if you are someone who is a very like driven individual, you know you want to accomplish so many things, you know that you have a bigger purpose for yourself in this lifetime, and you don't necessarily know what it is, start writing down the things that you want to accomplish, both big and small. And that's going to help you get so clear on what you want, but it's also going to help you start taking the action to make it happen.
Live life. People can't connect with you if you have no stories to tell. Clock it. How are you going to walk into a room where you want your life to completely change, to be around the people that can change that, to be the person that can change that for others, if you just sit in your room and do nothing, or tell yourself that you're an introvert, or tell yourself that you don't have a lot of friends and you don't try to find a community? Find communities that resonate with you. It is so important. It is so important to find what makes you thrive. It is so important to find what makes you thrive. If you find yourself just sitting in a room watching Netflix, it's the same thing every day. You go to work, come home, watch TV, and do nothing else. You cannot have the dream life that you create because there's no depth. Get out of your shell. Fail, then fail again, and watch you succeed.
$500, what do I do with it?
What's the goal?
Just make more of it.
Do you know what you're going to go do to make more money?
Maybe investing, real estate, stocks.
First off is you just got to pick one. Because if you try to do 3 or 2, it's not a winning recipe. Success leaves clues. If you talk to people that have won and made a lot of money, they will all tell you they did one thing for a long period of time and then they won.
So stay with one thing.
Yeah, it's called focus. You know what focus stands for? Follow one course until successful. You got $500, pick one thing. If you go all in and the money goes away and you didn't win, you'll learn so much about yourself. It's worth doing that.
You learn from your mistakes.
They're not mistakes if you learn. It's like falling off a surfboard the first time you surf. Did you fail at surfing?
No.
No, you just learned how not to stand on the surfboard. Get back up.
I just want you to consider the possibility that you could make more money making a couple of videos on social media every month than you do at your day job, and then ask yourself why you don't do that. I know it's not for everyone, but if it's something you want and you haven't started doing it, why not? And I'm not asking that as a rhetorical to make you feel silly, like, God, why haven't I started? But like, actually define why not. Does it seem overwhelming? Do you not know how the industry works? Do you not know what to make? And then once you figure out why you're not doing it, work on solving that, because this industry is really just starting to grow. And there is so much money in it. And if you're saving for a house, saving for kids, maybe you don't want to quit your day job and make this your full career, but you want to make more money without slaving away, this is a very modern, real opportunity that's you should take advantage of, I think.
If you missed my previous ones, the first was how much money I've earned and how, and the second one was how I use ChatGPT to do all my social media analytics. And today we are tackling Pinterest. Namely how to make and schedule 2 months worth of content really quickly. Step 1 is research. Luckily, I have a backlog of content from my old website, so I look at Pinterest trends to find content that I already have that will fit upcoming trends. And step 2 is to make a bunch of posts on Canva. So one of my top tips for this is I have one Canva project with like 20 templates that I can easily edit. They fit fit my branding and they're cute. And again, it's just really easy. And this makes it super quick for me to make, say, 10, 15 different Pinterest images. And you can also add animations if you want to make videos too. And step 3 is ChatGPT. So once I have my designs, I ask it to write me 20 search optimized Pinterest headings and captions, and then I schedule it all on Pinterest.
This is some genuinely crazy outsourcing. This guy's dentist is in Texas, but his receptionist is in the Philippines. He said, my dentist reception desk is manned by a woman in the Philippines on video. When you walk in, an iMac is facing you with her on camera to check you in. The owner said he previously struggled with high turnover and bad employees. This woman in the Philippines has been flawless by comparison. This is what it looks like. This post is going viral and people are saying this is going to be the future. What do you think?
Y'all, my obsession with making money online is honestly next level, to the point where I daydream about it, I think about it, I sleep on it, I wake up thinking about it all the fucking time. Literally all the time. Like, once you get exposed to an opportunity that will make you money from wherever the fuck you want to make money, and it comes all from your phone, you'll never go back. You will never go back to the land of familiar. It's like, once you get exposed to a person or a man or a woman who treats you so fucking good, you will never go back to a toxic ex. You will never go back to somebody who's toxic. You will never go back to the land of bare minimum, because that's what you know. Once you get exposed to it, once you've had a taste of it. So this is your friendly reminder to start digital marketing, get your money, make that bag all from your bed. This is your sign.
This is the pep talk that I give myself every day before I make 100 cold calls. Smile and dial. Okay, I don't want to be poor. Do you want to be poor? I don't want to be poor. But you know what's even worse than being poor? Being a failure. That's embarrassing. If they yell at me, it's okay. I'm just a girl. I'm just a girl. If you don't hit your KPIs, your manager will be mad at you. And if you have someone mad at you, then you're not going to be able to sleep at night. So really, we're doing this so you can sleep at night. If only they could see my new haircut. They would talk to me. Say it with me. Just because someone doesn't answer the phone or hangs up on you doesn't mean you're unlovable.
So it's been almost 2 weeks, or just hit 2 weeks. I can't even remember, but it's been 2 weeks since I started digital marketing. Like, this is when I decided that I was about to go off, because I saw my best friend make over $80,000 in 4 months just posting 3 times a day about the UBC course, which is linked at the top of my page. And I got into digital marketing and bought the UBC course, went through the modules for the purpose of reselling this course. Like, I don't want to create my own course. I've tried, I've thought about it, and I was like, too much work. So I bought the UBC course. It is aligned with me. I like all the value in it. I like what it teaches. And I did my email marketing, and I have almost 50 email subscribers, because that's where we close people. That's where all the sales come from the emails subscribers. And I realized the emails that I have automated haven't even been sending. Like, they weren't even working until I found out 2 days ago. And I'm like, that's why the sales haven't been rolling in.
My prediction is the next 5 years, we are going to see a skills revolution.
She is so right, and specifically the skills that are going to make the biggest difference are going to be the things that we typically think of as soft skills. As we begin to rely more and more on technology, there's 2 things that you need to keep in mind. 1, you need to spend time building digital literacy so you understand how technology is going to come into the workplace and potentially change your job. And 2 is going to be, as we rely more and more on this technology, the really easy, mundane stuff is going to be handled by the technology. And the stuff that's going to be left is the sticky, complex human things. The things that we typically call soft skills. So I've said it before and I'll say it again. Now is the time for humans to begin sharpening those soft skills so that we stand out in a world full of technology.